Your 8-minute question and answer period will now begin. Why is your team the right group to run these projects?
I'll say our team is the right group to run these projects because we have a lot of seasoned veterans on our team, but we also have a great mix of first years that have just started to enter into this Enactus environment. And so there's a really good mix of old and new ideas coming together. And when we put them together, we get great ideas like Booster. That's a brand new innovation this year. Or we have the great ideas that are pumped out of the Enactus Entrepreneurship Bootcamp, like Singla Intimates. And the last thing I would just say is that at Western and with the sort of students that we have coming from Ivy, there's a lot of knowledge to go around, business and entrepreneurial knowledge, which makes our team the best team to run our projects.
What accomplishments from the last year are you most proud of?
I think what we are most proud of this year is just how much we have grown, how much our projects have grown, but also how we've moved away specifically from a very partnership-based a partnership base for new projects and sort of grown into the more innovation space. And that's where Booster, once again, it was internally ideated. Singla Intimates was internally ideated. And we're looking for ways now to take the projects that come out of Enactus Hacks and incubate them and grow them in the future.
Could you clarify the role of your partnerships and the role of your team in your projects?
Yes, for sure. So our partnerships are particularly with Rollup this year, which was presented, and it is owned by Enactus Western alumni Megan Mackay, but she left all operations with the team. And so Dollar is our project manager, and she does her and her team do all the operations, and that includes logistics, delivery, marketing, etc. For our other projects such as ECN and Shed Red and the Hope Sisters, those were ideated by someone outside of the Enactus Western team originally, and we have integrated them into the team, and all the members that are conducting the operations are part of the Enactus Western team.
Do you have plans to scale your projects? Why and how?
Absolutely. And I'll take that question first. As the project manager of Rollup Solutions, we absolutely plan to scale our operations and increase our impact. So this year, we were able to collect a little over 200 wheelchairs and walkers, and we've donated over 140 of them. In the coming year and the next 3 years, we plan to work with Goodwill Industries Commercial Solutions to actually leverage their supply chains across Ontario, their donation centers, as well as their trucking system to be able to collect over 500 upwards of 1,000 or so wheelchairs and walkers. And then we are able to really increase that impact by donating it to communities or individuals in financial need. I can now pass it to Austin.
So at Enactus Hacks, we've always been focused on growing our event to reach as many students as possible and maximize our impact that way. At our most recent event, we were able to invite 170 attendees, which was a growth from our first year where we invited a little bit over 100. But during our most recent event, we realized the value of individualized attention and advice through our one-to-one check-ins. So next year, we'll actually be scaling down our size so we can scale up our impact. By focusing on curated small group sessions and content, our team believes that we can increase student involvement and connection with our organization, which will amplify the quality of our impact. So once we hone our abilities with this new smaller kind of event, we're going to investigate some ways to scale this kind of small, intimate, involved sessions to even more brilliant entrepreneurial students. I'll now pass it off to the Booster project manager to hear a little bit more about their work.
So as the Booster project manager, one thing that we're really looking at in terms of scaling is being able to expand to other schools and looking at bringing our impact that we're now currently having at Western with the Western network and being able to see that at other universities as well. We're also looking to increase our impact and an educational side of things by really focusing on what content we're putting out, and we've hired three new blog writers to help with that as well.
How does your team define success?
Our team defines success by the amount of people that we are able to impact. And what we mean by this is just as many people that we are directly able to reach. And so this year we impacted 1,600 lives. And although that might not be the biggest number, we know that's coming across the Enactus Canada stage, we can say that we had deep impact on those who we did touch. For example, Boost Her is giving so many women at Western a chance to grow their careers. The Roll Up is bringing mobility back into the lives of people who need it most. And so these are examples of how our impact might not be the biggest numerically, but how we're touching these lives is what I think Enactus Western is really defining success as.
How did you come up with the idea for your projects?
Yeah, I can go ahead first. Roll Up first came out of the seeing the excess that exists within communities of these wheelchairs and walkers that go out of disuse every single year. So within the London community alone, over 4,000 wheelchairs and walkers go into disuse every single year. And at the same time, we know that over 600,000 Canadians actually require wheelchairs and walkers, but sometimes may not have the financial means to get them. And so we saw that gap and saw that there needed to be an organization to be that bridge between the excess supply and then the demand. And so that's where Roll Up really comes in. And we provide value at every step of the supply chain. When we get these devices donated to us, a lot of times they're collecting dust in the basements of these nursing homes and these retirement homes. And then we work with Goodwill Industries to upcycle them. And that through that, we provide transitional employment to those facing barriers to employment. And then we donate them to those who don't have the financial means to purchase them upright. And so that's kind of where the inspiration came from. And it has proven to be a very successful business model and has impacted so many different people groups. I'll next pass it off to Austin.
Actually, I'll be taking that question.
Sorry.
So no worries. So my co-founder and I wanted to create it to inspire students to take action on issues affecting their lives while also addressing the lack of opportunities to prepare for the workforce and also the disconnect between technology and business. And our goal was really to provide a low-risk environment that promotes cross-disciplinary learning, communication, and unique ideation. So by attending Enactus Hack, students are given the opportunity to learn high-level technical and soft skills necessary for today's modern workforce, especially as the world continues to transition online. And we've hosted 5 technical and 5 non-technical workshops to teach attendees skills such as coding in Java, HTML, prototyping with React Native, pitching, design thinking, and much more. So attendees really walk away having developed and utilized a new skill in a quantifiable way that will differentiate them in the job market and prepare them for the ever-changing workforce. And now I'll pass it off to the Boost Her project manager.
Your time has now expired. Thank you, Enactus Western University.